Hello, party shoe people.
Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome.
Shoe Sunday.
Why does this look so weird? Does it normally look like this?
Yeah.
It does?
Oh, it's light outside. So.
Oh, that's why it looks so weird, because it's light outside. It is the exact same time. It is 4:05. We are on time today.
For once.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sitting a little Vogue. No?
Oh.
Anyway, so welcome to our live at 4:05 with Tori and Bill. You may notice that we have a very special guest in the back there. She will be introducing herself shortly, but we are going to focus on all things shoes today.
Hey, Lindsay.
It's Shoes Day!
Lara.
Yay!
What's
So,
up?
one of the things that Bill and I love to sell is shoes. And we get a lot of questions from many of you, how to clean them, how do you pick them up, how do you choose which shoes you do. And so last year, funny story, the first video that Bill actually ever did on YouTube was a how to clean shoes video. And it was...
horrible.
It wasn't horrible. It could have had some improvement, and so we are doing an updated 2020 version, and we thought it would be even better if we just did some live demo and answered questions from you as we went through. So we invited our amazing PFF Erin here. She is a very, very great and wonderful expert in all things reselling. So we invited her to join. So anyway, with that,
I'm gonna move to the back, I guess.
I'm gonna kick Bill out of the front today. He's riding in the back seat with Erin. Hopefully we can see and make sure we have enough light. Bill is going to be moderating while I keep the conversation going. Keep in mind, during this live, as we talk about shoes, ask questions. It's such a cool time to be able to talk to each other in the community and really just share your knowledge. I will be the first to say we do not know everything. We are a small section of people that actually love to sell shoes. So we'll share what we know, but we're gonna be looking for what you know as well. So with that, I did take some notes and I did make an outline. I mean, I am a script writer in my day-to-day job. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, first of all, I want to throw out a question as everyone is joining.
Amanda.
One of the questions, so I had a lot of you out there on Instagram. I said, hey, what are some questions that you have? What would you like answered? And so I am going to be addressing those as we go through. And one of the first questions I want to bring up is from the Flipping Gals. So Marianne and Michelle, one question they had was 10 to 20 Bolo brands of shoes. So I'm gonna ask that right now because I want all of you in the comments to share what your Bolo brands are, and we'll circle back to that at the end. So we'll kind of take what everyone has said and go from there. Whew, okay, I've been running around today. It's been a little, okay, I'm hectic. It hasn't been hectic. Luckily, I have Erin here. She is very calm. So let's go ahead and head over to Erin. And Erin, so tell us a little bit about how long you've been reselling, how shoes are important in your business, and anything else you want to share.
Okay, well, I've been reselling for about 7 years. I've been on Poshmark since 2016. I originally started on eBay. So, about 2016 is when I started my closet. And shoes, I like shoes. I like athletic shoes. I like sandals. I like all sorts of shoes. So
awesome.
When I can find good ones here in Spokane. Our market's not great for shoes, but we still look.
Exactly, and that's one of the things she and I have talked about when it comes to shoes is if you can find them, they're great to pick up, but here it is a little bit more challenging. But yeah, Erin has been doing this for 7 years. Like she said, she's been on eBay. Her husband also is a reseller. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So you have it in the family there, is that right?
Yes, that's true.
Awesome. So it's really cool to bring in other people. So this is the first time we've had a guest, and I'm pretty excited. We are drinking some really nice wine. Yes. Cheers. Cheers. Erin did bring this over. So cheers to all of you. Hopefully you're having tea, soda, wine.
Most of them are watching football, so it's mostly beer and probably vodka.
You can see my Seahawks cup.
Yes, Seahawks. Okay, yeah, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Lily, it's okay. Okay, so let's dive into some of the things. I have this all outlined out. We're gonna go through some of the products that we use. We're gonna take a look at smells. We're gonna look at cleaning soles and then also outers. So we're gonna go through all of these pieces, again, answering questions as we go. So I did want to say a couple of things before we dive right in, but Lindsay, L on the lookout on Instagram, she just had a general question, the best methods for different materials, and we are going to share those as we go forward. So I wanted to make sure you know we saw your question, totally took that into consideration with the outline. And then Frankie's threads. Sometimes Frankie is turned off, or Frankie's threads is turned off by the condition of shoes. So how worn is too worn? That is their question. And I'm actually gonna throw that over to Erin and Bill. So we're gonna kind of do a round table, answer these questions as we go. So how worn is too worn for you guys?
I guess a couple things that I look for like athletic shoes is I always look at the tread on the bottom and make sure that they don't have any, any real wear on there or very little wear. And then I also will look like for the logos and make sure everything looks good. And I try not to buy shoes that have too much wear on them.
I think that I agree with that too. And B, when you're looking at shoes, is that something that you look at too?
Yeah, where basically heel to toe. If the toe part is worn or the heel part's worn, it's a no.
Definitely.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's harder, especially sourcing shoes. You don't want to pick something up that you have to spend a lot of time on.
True.
Because time is money as well. And I think that's why a lot of people get scared of shoes, because you're thinking, how much do I actually have to put into cleaning this? And we're going to share some tips. You don't have to put too much, as long as you have the right products. So it's super cool.
Hey, Christine.
Would you mind turning on that light? I'm looking at the shadow back here, and I just want to make sure. I know it's kind of an odd setup.
It's dark.
Oh, is that better? Maybe? Have my halo again. It's just weird because it's light outside.
Kathy had a question. What shoes or sneakers you feel comfortable throwing in the washing machine?
That's a great question for Erin, because Erin does a lot of shoes and sneakers.
We don't.
Let's see, Rothy's go in the washer.
Okay.
A scent from the
Trying to think
Philippines.
of- I don't put a whole lot in the washer. I mean, Rothy's I'll wash just because I know that's part of their appeal is you can throw them in the washer.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't pick up a lot of sneakers, so
No.
for us, we don't even clean a lot of sneakers because we don't buy them. I did just buy a pair recently, and it was a bad buy, so I actually kept them out to show you that they're a bad buy. And when we go a little bit forward, a little further down, I'll bring those out. Yes, I make mistakes a lot. I'm not perfect. Okay, cool. So the good flip says, what are your top 3 products? So each of us are going to share with you kind of 3 of the products that we use, and maybe not even a product, but maybe a tool that we use in our arsenal. Now, I do want to point out, hopefully you can see the table. We brought all of our tools out to share with you, so you can really see we have a lot of similarities, but some of them are different. So I'm gonna start with B this time. What are your top 3 products or tools that you can't live without to clean shoes?
Here.
You can hand it to me and I can show.
All right. That's the first one.
Lysol.
Smelly. As soon as you get them home, hose them down on the inside. That's it.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Awesome.
Goo Gone. Good for everything.
Goo Gone.
Stickers, ink on the soles, ink inside. Goo Gone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna save this one.
Really? You live by this one?
Yep.
All
You
right.
pick up a lot of leather.
So this is good. Bill likes this one. This little spray bottle here, it actually smells really nice. I like this. I really do like this one. But this is what I think he uses a lot on even purses. So a lot of these tips that we're sharing can actually be used on leather purses as well. So that's really awesome.
Any leather.
Yeah, leather good.
Perfect. Okay, Erin, what are your 3 tools or products?
Probably my Scotty peeler. That
is
works
cool.
for getting the stickers off or getting into little grooves on the shoes if there's like rocks or whatever or mystery something on the bottom. So this works great. Probably my Wonder Balsam.
Oh yes, me too. This is on my list. Doc Martin Wonder Balsam.
Yep. And then probably the next thing is this crazy looking brush. It's like a medium bristle brush, and it works great for cleaning bottoms of shoes. As far as just you get a little Dawn soap in there and just scrub the bottom.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Dawn, because Dawn is a wonder reseller tool. If you, and we are not sponsored. I just want to make sure. I know I'm we're not sponsored by any of these tools, but we do stand by them, and we've heard from many of you use the same thing. But Dawn is a miracle tool as a reseller, not just for shoes, but also for clothing in general. It really is fantastic. So for me, I definitely want to choose things that are a little bit different than what you have chosen. So I'm going to start with this one. And you're going to think this is really weird. This is actually a flea brush. Don't worry, it doesn't have fleas. But this is really good for Velcro. So if you pick up anything that has Velcro, now, we don't pick up a lot of things with Velcro, but a lot of tops or something like that, it comes in really handy. So this I love. I think it makes life so easy. Magic Eraser. Magic Eraser is, again, it's multi-purpose. You can use it on many different things, and I really think that this, I use it on my keyboard and shoes and many things, so I like this tool. And then some household items that I think are so useful. Vinegar, Italian cold process. You don't have to use fancy vinegar.
That's olive oil.
Olive oil.
That is not vinegar.
No big deal. I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So this is olive oil, which is really great for something we'll show you in a little bit. And then, oh my gosh, I can't even lift it, it's so big. Vinegar. So vinegar is awesome as well. So we're gonna show you how each of those tools will be very useful. So in the comments, let us know, what are your top 3 tools that you use to clean shoes? What have you found works for you? You can see again, there's a number of different products up here. We're not going to go through everything for time purposes, but we will link all of the products that are available on Amazon to make it easy. I actually have an Amazon page. I do get a little kickback if you click the Amazon link, so I will make sure to disclose that. That's as sponsored as we get. I think it's a few cents for a purchase, but we will have all those linked on one website, so you can go in and find them super easily. So anyway, here we go. Any comments or anything that I should pause before we move on? Anything coming through?
Somebody said sit at the table with the rest so we can see better. What do you use for yellowed athletic shoe sides that were white?
That is a great question. What do you use?
Magic Eraser.
Magic Eraser.
Eraser and Dawn. So I'll Dawn the heck out of them, and then after they're dry, go with the Magic Eraser around them. It usually works.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Hide yourself.
I'm not hiding. Not that everyone wants to see my face right there, but I'm gonna change things up a little. No, this is why being live is so awesome.
Well, Ginger said Wonder Balsam,
Much better.
Clorox bleach wipes, and Suede brush.
Oh,
Yes.
Suede brush,
Suede
yes.
brush.
I didn't even mention Suede. Oh gosh,
It's because it's on our little.
Okay. Let's see. Is this better? See, I love live though, because you can actually take immediate feedback and incorporate it. And I think that definitely looks better. Yeah.
Ragdoll Kitty, what about nail polish remover to remove permanent marker from the soles?
Yep.
Yes, or
There we go.
Or
alcohol.
Same thing.
There we go. There we
That was
go.
one of our matches.
Yep.
And then this is so funny. So this, I actually think this is adorable. I think that I got this
Not adorable.
on clearance somewhere at the thrift store. And then Bill has his little kit in here with some other pieces. That's where the Suede brush was. The, my favorite, I didn't even mention my favorite tool. See, I should have made notes for this. Sharpie. Sharpie is so amazing for so many different things. So, but anyway, you're gonna have a lot of tools, but you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like I showed you, the olive oil, the vinegar, just get things out of your house. Erin, you had a great tip earlier. If you have something that doesn't have to be like really cleaned,
As far as
yeah.
with the wipes?
Yeah, I love the wipes, and then the sink.
Oh, the sink, yes. So, especially with like Chacos or Tevas, Crocs, just throw them in the sink with some dish soap and a scrub brush. That's all you gotta do, and then wash them and let them dry.
Yeah, easy peasy. So again, don't go and spend a ton of money on tools.
Stuff you got at home.
Exactly, but there is one that you were talking about, the leather wipes, and I have never used leather wipes, and I don't think that you have either.
I like these
No.
guys.
But it looks like
It might be this.
Almost
It might be the
it's
same as his.
close.
But it's in an actual white
It's in a
form
white
here.
form.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let us move right along here. Question number 2 as we get into here. This is around smells, things that stink, things that are smelly. And that is, I think, another reason people tend to not pick up shoes because they're like, how do I get these smells out? So Zahara Teague had a really interesting question. She just bought a pair of Fry boots and they smell moldy. And so she wanted to know, how do you get mold out of the shoe? How do you get that smell out, that mildew smell? So I know what I would use, and I'm gonna throw it out. What would either of you use to get the smell out of a shoe?
Lysol.
So first and foremost, it's like you're at a bowling alley. Just
Everything.
spray them down.
Spray them down.
Just like a bowling alley.
I've heard that, I have never tried this myself, but I've heard that they make charcoal bags that you can stuff inside of
Oh.
sneakers and leave overnight and it'll take the smell out. Something I should try.
Yeah, I think
I've heard that works.
I think that's a great idea. I don't know if any of you have tried the charcoal sachets. Is that a sachet? Satchels?
Sachet?
Sachet?
I think sachet.
That sounds really
That's a
fancy.
thing.
So if you've tried those, let us know. But I also know baking soda. I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan, and another tool that you can use right around your house is just baking soda.
Baking soda,
You
yeah.
can use that for a lot of things, like Birkenstock, soles. Yes,
Mhm.
100%. So hopefully that helps, Zahara Teague, that may help with the smells there. Also, I read about tea bags. So I had never heard of using tea bags inside of a shoe, but apparently it's a
Hey,
thing.
Sylvia.
So there you go. So that was the question we had around smells. So I want to make sure we bring that up because when you bring those shoes home, you want to get the smell out before you even try to clean them. Just
Yeah.
like
What's up, Quimby?
you don't want to have those. You don't want to have those smells in there. So the next section we're gonna dive into is around the sole of the shoe.
Soul.
The sole. It's so important, that sole. There's a lot of controversy around soles. You know, some people clean the bottoms of their shoes, some don't. Some leave the prices on there, some don't.
You should clean the bottom
So
of your
we
shoes.
have some questions. We have some questions here. Actually, we did have a number of questions around the soles. So number 1 was, do you always clean the bottoms? And that came from Villa Monarca. She has a really pretty butterfly. So I think that it's like monarch. So I know I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, VILLA_Monarca on Instagram. All of these were questions from Instagram, by the way. Do you always clean the bottoms? Go.
Yes.
Done.
And
End
Lara,
of story.
Lysol does work on smoke as well. Just
Does
saying.
it? 100%?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard putting things in the freezer to get like really strong odors out too. So I don't know if that works, but okay. So now we get into the other thing. So number 1, and I'm gonna save the most asked questions at the end, but sticky price tag residue. How do you get the sticky price tag residue? And this is from Arizona Erin. How do you get the sticky price tag residue off on rubber versus leather sole?
Goo Gone for rubber. Anything sticky. Goo Gone.
Gone.
Goo
Yep.
gone.
Or alcohol would work.
Or alcohol.
I use these nice and easy antibacterial wipes on a lot of things, and they take off a lot of stuff.
Awesome. And you use your little stick thing too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll use it with this. So
I love that tool. And that's a tool
Scotty
that
peeler.
Scotty peeler. That's something that we don't have. Billy uses old toothbrushes. So
Or
have
my finger.
or his finger. Well, that doesn't sound. I mean, you have cuts all over your fingers. But toothbrushes I really like. But that seems like really great to get into.
And
crevices.
leather flipping gals, leather, you want to use alcohol or a magic eraser. Or
To get the sticky residue off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think some people's concern with alcohol, and I totally get this. It's leather, but it doesn't damage the leather. I haven't seen.
no, so what you do is put the alcohol in we'll show you. Alcohol Q-tip, put it on the thing, wipe it off with the paper towel, and then rinse and repeat until it's gone.
Yes. And so that leads us into the other couple of questions. So we have Dolphin8890 says how to get ink and pen off the bottoms of shoes. And I think that we kind of talked about that. And then Selena Galivas says how to remove marker from a leather sole. So those are all very similar pieces of information. You know, the sticky is a little bit different than the actual price that is on the bottom. So I know, Erin, you mentioned that you actually have some of the same pens that they use, so you get to test that.
No, I just noticed that they use different pens.
Oh.
They do. Sometimes they use the silver, like Sharpie metallic ones, or
like this one's a metallic, like a.
Oh yeah.
And then
that's
this,
the one I'm talking about.
This one's the easy one.
Yeah.
This is like some kind of white marker they use. That comes off with my Purell white, or my nice and clean whites.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see that one.
I need to go get a.
Wait. Oh, you need a Q-tip?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you don't have any Q-tips in here?
Nope.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Your kit is incomplete.
Needs to be restocked.
Yeah, we need a Q-tip. So what Bill is actually going to do right now is he is getting a Q-tip because the answer to the other question, how to remove marker from a leather sole. So Bill does most of the cleaning of the shoes, by the way, uses alcohol to get off the price. So we didn't actually have a pair that had a price on it. So I drew a smiley face on the bottom of my shoe that's for sale right now. So there's that little smiley right there, and Bill's gonna use alcohol and get that off while we continue the discussion here. So what other tips do you all have around cleaning the soles? Like, look at that. Hello. It's completely gone. And she was able to do that in a matter of seconds while we were just chatting. So it does not take so much time, although it does take some.
The metallic ones come off with it too.
And that took seconds. That's right there. So we have the smell gone, we have the stickers on the sole gone. That's phenomenal.
Sandpaper works as well.
Oh, sandpaper, definitely a good tool to use. It does take that elbow grease. So one thing I will say, while we're giving you a lot of tips that can be simple, if you're gonna invest in shoes and you're gonna get them to sell, or even if you just want to wear them, sometimes you have to put a little elbow grease in there. So what's your time worth? I guess that's the bottom line with that one.
Yeah.
Do we not have a cue? Oh, so Bill's gonna keep working on that. So that is kind of those questions that we had around soles, or the tips that we had around the soles. Luckily, a lot. But I was gonna bring up, yes, that just brought something to mind. So if you can't get the price off of the bottom, because I know that that's happened to me. I've tried everything. I used sandpaper, I used alcohol, I used everything I can imagine. Not that I have a lot of muscles, but I couldn't get it off. So you know what I did? I took my handy little magic marker and I just crossed it out. And I know that's not ideal, and I'm not saying that that's something you should do every time, but if you're spending so much time on a pair of shoes that isn't gonna get you a high return, maybe it doesn't make sense to mark it out. I don't know. I'm not saying
I've
do
done
that
before.
Okay, good. So I'm not alone.
I've had ones that were
I'm not alone.
super difficult, and I would get half of it off, and I'm like, okay, it's just not coming off.
And again, time is money, so it's like, well, is someone really gonna mind?
Yeah. Or you just make it into something else.
Yeah. That little circle, little heart, just, that's it. I don't keep numbers, so if I'm marking it out, I literally am doing like a circle around it, I'm not gonna change the number. I don't want anyone to see a number.
Yeah.
The sandpaper's, Kathy's gonna be really light, like 120. I'm thinking nothing heavy, nothing like 80. You don't want to rub a rock against it because you're gonna damage the leather. But
yeah. Well, the leather's gonna get a little damaged anyway, but.
Yeah.
These are, I'm not sure what kind of soles these are. If they're,
I think it's rubber.
They're like a rubber sole, and that had the black Sharpie, like the regular Sharpie on there, and that just came off with the alcohol. Just make sure to get 90% plus.
What are we using?
Yeah.
Oh, good. We're using the exact. Oh my gosh. It's literally the same bottle.
Brand.
Twinsies.
Because
it's not gonna come off all the way.
I have the 70 at home as well, and it works. It just takes a lot more elbow grease. You'll save time with the 90.
Exactly. So this is just the first pass with the alcohol. Now again, you do need some elbow grease on there. This probably would need to have a little sandpaper on it as well, but you can tell it's way better than what it was. So that is good news there. All right. So now, as we continue right along, talking about shoes. Welcome to anyone that just joined. We have looked at the different products that we use to clean shoes. We have discussed smelly shoes and how to get those smells out. We just talked about how to clean soles. And now we're going into outers, because outers is probably one of the most important pieces, because that's mostly what people see.
We're coming up to that next.
Yes.
Suede.
Oh, Suede. Yeah, don't you worry. There were so many questions on Suede. So many questions on Suede. Okay, so before we dive into Suede, has anyone been listing their 10 to 20 Bolo brands? I just want to remind you, if you have a shoe brand, your Bolos that you're always on the lookout for, put those in the comments. We're going to talk about it at the end. The Flipping Gals had a great question to see what everyone else was looking for. And I want to know too, because where we are, you know, we don't get a lot of the bigger brands, but we're open. We want to keep our eyes open and see what you're looking for as well. So keep putting those in the comments, and then at the end we'll come back to it and we'll have a little powwow around Bolo brands for shoes. Okay, so outers. Yeah, lots of discussion around this. So I broke it down into different types of outers so we can kind of go a little more in depth. So leather, you're gonna pick up leather shoes. You're gonna find them and you wanna make sure that you have the tools to clean leather. So let's talk about that. Do you have an example that you brought with you that you wanted to show? I think Bill does, if I can find them. Cool, so I'm gonna hand these to you because I know you're gonna talk about those. Oh, but Erin has one of the Bolo brands in front of her.
Yep.
We'll just give you a little.
Sold plenty of those.
Like 4, because we don't find them.
Yeah, I think this will be my second pair. So.
And in Seattle, we find Tori all the time. Like, or not all the time, but more than here.
Yeah. So I'll hand that to you.
Okay.
That's the cleaned one.
This is the cleaned one. So we did go through and we did kind of the, cooking show thing where they cleaned the left shoe and then the right shoe is uncleaned. So you can see the comparison. Yeah. So this is clean, but let's take a look at the uncleaned version.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So it had some wear, like some foot goop in the inside. It's gross.
Goopy.
But that's why I have antibacterial hand wipes.
Yeah.
So you just wipe that baby out, and then use the Wonder Balsam on it to kind of refresh some kind of faded spots around the toe. And then on the bottoms, I used again my wipes to just kind of clean all this dirt and gunk off the bottoms.
Yeah, and then with all that, I mean, how long did it take you to clean?
This, because there's a lot of grooves, because I used this guy to get into the grooves. It took probably 5 minutes.
Awesome. Get into the groove.
Yeah.
Sorry, good. Well, anyway, but yeah, that's how wonderful it looked. Didn't take too long, and this is going to be a high return because this is a really great.
It's a good
brand to pick up.
It's worth cleaning.
Tory Burch, if you're not familiar, and definitely worth our time.
Yeah.
Now, these I'm not sure if they're worth Bill's time, but I love a cowboy boot, so I picked these up. Show me the dirty one first. So let's show the dirty, and then we'll show what it looks like after. So I picked these up because I definitely love a cowboy boot. You can tell the leather is cracking. It definitely needs some love. The bottom has residue. Going back to that residue. Oh, this is a leather sole. I guess I did have a leather sole readily available. And then the heel is, very faded. This we didn't even talk about, but shoe polish is really good for black as well. So we actually do use shoe polish. And then all of these strings, I'm gonna see if you can see all the strings that are hanging around. It's really difficult to see these strings.
There you go.
Here we go. So these little strings that are hanging around, those needed to be removed as well. So B, talk to us about what products you used, or what did you do to get the shoe to look like this?
So the fantastic toothbrush with a little water around the sole and the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So around this piece.
Okay.
Some shoe polish all over, of course. The leather cleaner.
Smells good.
And then the balsam, just to kind of protect that cracking that's in there. But they are, cowboy boots. They're made to look worn.
Yes.
But not old.
And then the other thing that I had, Bill, or did you do it or did I do it?
Oh,
did you
I
finish
burned
it? So we cut off the
snipped
longer
things.
strings, and then we took a lighter, and then we put the lighter around to burn off those excess strings. Now, I'm going to tell you, I am not going to say go burn your shoes.
No.
However, it does work in certain situations. Actually, when it gets to Suede, so there is the Southern Stone. She has some Instagram videos where she sets her shoes on fire that are suede and it cleans them right up. I do not have that kind of, I just know myself. I'm klutzy and I would probably catch the whole house on fire.
I'm not about to burn a shoe in the house.
But I will show you. In fact, do you want to grab a lighter and I'll just show how to burn that right off?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so that is
What's up, Allison?
leather. So really, one step I think that Bill does that Aaron doesn't do is just the black stuff.
The
Shoe
polish?
polish, the polish. Do you use polish?
Yeah, no, not a whole lot.
But you do a lot of sneakers, so there
Yeah.
won't really be a need for shoe polish on a sneaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am
brown
gonna do
liner.
this. Don't worry. I'm not
I'm
gonna
worried.
catch the house on fire. But I did want to show everyone, and I don't know if this one even has very many. Oh yeah, it does.
It's got a lot.
This is gonna be funny if it does catch on fire. So I'm gonna get
Not
in
gonna be
here.
funny.
We're gonna. Aaron's like, okay, let's.
Oh no.
There's a lot of strings on that. That one scares me. Okay.
I got water.
Yeah, she has water, so we're good. Can you see the strings? Okay. I don't know why my finger's so close to this. Are they able to see this? So anyway, that's as far as I'm gonna go because I don't wanna do this while I'm on here. But it will burn all those loose threads off, which is phenomenal, saves you a lot of time.
I'm talking about smells.
It
The flora.
It does not smell bad. He's totally making it up. Does it? No, it doesn't. You guys are silly. Okay, so next, so we just talked about regular old leather, just regular old leather. Now let's take a look at patent leather. Patent leather is sometimes a bane, sometimes not very nice. So we do have a pair of patent leather. Did you?
No,
no,
I
you
don't
did
have
not. So
Lucky you.
okay, this is the non, this is the cleaned. Okay, Bill's gonna talk to us about patent leather. It's something we don't get a lot of. So I don't sell a lot of patent leather, but there are things that Bill did. So anyway, let's show, this is the one, you can see it has some scuffs around the edge, scuffing on the back, and then there was residue on the bottom again.
Oh, I didn't clean the bottom of the other one.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yep, you just didn't realize it. You do it without thinking about it. So talk to us about patent leather. What did you use, or what can you use?
So I used Windex or a window cleaner on the outside. The scuffs, you can use a pencil eraser with a little like soft bristled toothbrush to kind of get the scuffs minimized, not
Nice.
gone. And then of course Lysol because they're shoes.
Yes. And if you don't have a pencil eraser, if you have one of these handy little
Correct.
suede brushes, they do have this rubber nubby here, which works on suede, yes, we'll talk about, but it also works on patent leather. It's like a little eraser. So yeah, patent, again, we don't see a lot of that, but again, let us know if you have tips or tricks for patent leather. But it really is, a lot of the times with patent, it's just getting those scuffs out. And those can come out, if you're at the store, something else, if you're looking at a pair of patent leather shoes, and if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that out, just try it. Try rubbing it. I mean,
Yep.
like, that's...
Just
Yeah.
rub it with your finger, maybe a little lick.
Yeah, just make sure
You
your hands are
never
clean.
know.
Make
Yeah.
sure your hands are clean. Any
the
other
bins.
tips? Oh, no, not the bins.
No, please,
No,
not.
that may be a
Don't
little
go to the
nasty.
bins.
Any other tips or tricks around patent leather?
That's all I've got.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's over here. Have to take a quick moment to refresh my palette.
I was saying, oh, this is Lindsay. Saying to Kelly earlier that Bill using Lysol is like the father in my big fat Greek wedding about Windex, and now
Oh.
he's using the Windex.
The Windex, yes. Oh, on everything. You gotta cut, spray it on there. Like, yes.
Put some
Oh,
Lysol on it.
oh my gosh,
But
yes.
Like
So
back in
bad.
the day, just rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is rubber. Now, rubber is one of those things here in Washington. It rains a lot. People wear a lot of wellies. People wear a lot of hunters. And across the country, people tend to wear, a lot of rain shoes as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of people leave these behind, or they get underpriced because they have blooming. And
Yeah.
blooming, you've probably seen this, looks like this. It's when the boot gets, it kind of looks like it's graying or whiting, and it just does not look
getting
healthy. Yeah, it's getting older. It's got some grays here. These were from my own personal closet that I used to wear all the time in the garden in Seattle. And ooh, look, there's like, I could burn those little things off. I'm
Yeah,
not going to,
no.
but I could.
Don't get off track.
So let's talk about cleaning rubber. Obviously, rubber is a little bit easier because if you have like rubber sandals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw them in the sink.
Stick them in the
throw
sink.
them in the sink, wash them in the sink, put them in the dishwasher, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know about the dishwasher. The heat might hurt them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. But when it comes to something that you have around your house, tell us, B, what did you use to clean these amazing hunters?
That would be something that should be in everybody's kitchen if they cook. Olive oil.
EVOO, as Rachel Ray would say. Extra virgin olive oil, and it got rid of all of that blooming. There's still a little on the heel, but that could be, you could easily...
And I'm not touching the heel because if the olive oil gets on the sole, then you're gonna break your neck because it's gonna be slick.
Oh, see, he's being smart. Fine. So anyway.
I'm no dummy.
So that, and how many applications, and what did the process look like?
3, so I'll show you. And make sure if you're using olive oil on your
Here,
hunters,
I'll bring it to you.
do not use a cloth. Use a paper towel.
Why? Give us a why.
The cloth puts too much olive oil on it and the rubber won't soak it in, so you just want a little bit. And I'm talking like, this might be a teaspoon for all 3, but you want to put the olive oil on the little paper towel.
Okay.
Let it soak in a little bit.
All right.
And then you just want to make sure to, and this is going to take a little work because you want to get it in all the seams, like all of the seams. All over. And then after you do that from the whole boot, then you're going to wipe off the excess, let it dry, and then rinse and repeat. But they will end
Well, don't
up like
rinse.
that.
Don't actually rinse.
No, don't. Don't
That's more of a
rinse.
reference.
Just repeat
Yes.
the process.
And it will, at first, it looks so shiny. You think, oh my gosh, that took seconds. That's no big deal. And then, yeah, as you let it dry for like 30 minutes, it starts to come back a little. So you are going to have to do the process a couple of different times.
Yep.
But you could do that while you're watching, you know, sports or watching YouTube. I don't know.
Our videos.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, so we have leather, patent leather, rubber, and then the most asked question was about suede. And suede is, it can be hard. It can be hard to have suede. It can be hard to clean suede. So a few of the questions that came through, Thrifted Turtle said, is there a way to fix suede when it's matted? So, you know, suede does get matted. If you get it wet or if you get anything on there, it can create these, like, what do you call it? Spots or matted spots. So that's one of the questions. These are all pretty similar. So I'll read the questions and then that way we can have a conversation around it. Maroney's Clothes says, black scuffs on suede. Can you get rid of it?
You sure can.
Yes, you can, and we'll tell you how. And here's Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Says mystery hard spots on suede, like spilled or dried liquids. Exactly. So all of these things can certainly be fixed. Not 100%, not guaranteed, but there are tools that can be used. So let's start. Who wants to start with the?
I'll start.
All right, Aaron will start. What are you looking for?
My towel.
It's right here.
That was good.
This is what Billy uses.
So, you want the dirty one first?
Yes, let's look at the dirty one. So
I mean, it's really hard to tell, but in the front toe area is kind of matted a little bit, and they just look like they've been worn. So we want to just freshen up the suede just with the brush. And then on the matted spot, I'll probably, because I think there's some kind of dirt in there, I'll probably use the little eraser on it, and then brush it all out with the brush.
awesome. Yeah, and this tool, I mean, we both have one that's very similar in nature.
Yeah.
It really makes a big difference. I do like, we have one, I guess, on ours, but yours looks a little bit nubbier. I like that.
Yeah.
So
I have a couple different ones. This one's an UGG brand. It came in my UGG box for cleaning. But I have another one that doesn't have the eraser and it has like a different nubby thing on it. I didn't bring that one with me, but they make different ones.
So pretty, so pretty.
Yeah.
So, okay, you don't have to keep cleaning those, Bea. We're on suede now. He can't stop. See, he got all about the hunters and now he's just like, I want to keep going. It's time for suede. So talk to us about suede. So we did you have a pair that you cleaned. This is the not cleaned pair. I mean, these are in really great condition though, so it kind of makes it a little bit.
Check the bottom. What does that bottom look like? What does that bottom
Oh, okay, so but we already talked about soles. So
Yeah.
what about the tops of suede?
I just brushed those. I thought you were gonna bring up the Keens.
Oh, yeah, no, where are the Keens?
I don't know.
That's
They
what I
should be
meant.
by you.
I don't know, I lost everything. Okay, oh, here, so left is good, right is bad? Which-
Correct.
Okay, so here, hold the good one. So we're using these. This is another item out of my closet. You can see these have had a lot of love. Black spots all over. The suede is matting where these are waterproof, they're Keens. So I definitely walked in snow in these, walked around. So yeah, this is an example of some staining and that kind of thing. In fact, the shoes I'm wearing now, I realized when I put them on, actually have a stain too. And I might have Bill see if he can get it out while we're on the air. So tell us about this. What did you
So
use to get
the
those spots out?
Left, I would say little toe part.
Hmm?
There was probably a nickel-sized black stain, probably where you can see that little white spot.
Mm-hmm.
Vinegar, people.
Vinegar.
White vinegar.
White vinegar, yes. I'm gonna show you this to my shoe right now. So white vinegar, and I'm gonna trust this method on one of my favorite pairs of shoes. I mean, I know, if they get ruined, it's fine, but we are gonna show you live how vinegar can help with the shoe. So this is one of my favorite pair of suede booties. I wear these all the time, but you'll notice there's this black mark there at the toe. I have no idea what that is. I feel like I have no clue. It may even just be a scratch in the suede, it kind of looks like, but I'm gonna give Bill the chance to see if vinegar will clean this shoe up right here. It does not smell, so we're okay.
Give me the vinegar.
And then Aaron, yes, more. So you have a pair of your, a great find from today, right?
Yes, this was a great find from today. So it's kind of a random other tip, just because I ran into this today. This is the one that this is the one I did. So, you want the bad
Oh yeah,
one
let's do the
first. I'm sorry,
bad
I'm
one
doing
first.
backwards. So they're just little bionic slip-ons. I've sold them before. They're great, just comfort shoes. So the sweater part is all nubby and kind of worn a little bit. So I just took the good old sweater, another use for your sweater shaver. Let's take the sweater shaver to it, and it cleaned it right up.
Yes, and then you ended up with this beauty right here.
Yeah.
So sweater shaver for the win. Not only does it work on attire, but on shoes. And look at that shoe. This is all pretty.
Yeah, I brushed it. It's suede, so I just brushed it all out. It had a couple little marks on it that the eraser took right out.
Yeah, that eraser, I mean, it literally erases it from suede. It's pretty awesome. I love that tool. Is it working at all?
It's gotta dry first.
Oh.
It's gonna come out. I'm telling
I'm
you.
scared because now it's discolored, and I'm like, no, don't discolor my favorite
It's just
shoes.
wet.
It's just wet.
Just blowing it. Now I'm gonna smell like a salad every time I wear these shoes, but that's okay. I'm doing it for you, okay? I'm doing it for you.
Amen.
All right, so
It's okay, you can replay it.
that is, oh yeah, no, this will be up, and anything that we have talked about, like any of the products, like I mentioned, I will have those linked below. Definitely want to tell you, I do get a small kickback if you click the Amazon link. I just always want to make sure that's clear so it doesn't seem like there's anything
Sketchy.
not cool about it. Okay, so those were all the questions around the outers and cleaning outers, and we wanted to show you some of those really common outers. We have a couple of other miscellaneous questions, but that was really what we were just going to show you in regards to some of the demonstrations or the tips that we had. So in the comments, take a minute, let us know if there's anything else. We have quite a number of shoes here that we can show you some of the things.
Yeah, like Goo Gone.
Okay, so what do you want to show? What do you want to show everybody, B?
That Sharpie that's probably been on there for who knows how long.
It's a
Oh,
dirty
yeah.
shoe.
Let's see the Goo Gone.
Yeah, see how Goo
Yeah.
Gone works. Okay, cool. So Bill's gonna give a little demonstration on that. Excellent. Cool.
Yep.
What, did any other tips come through from anyone? Did anyone else have any tips that they wanted to share? Again, we don't know
Lara-
everything.
Yeah, Lara uses a Norwex polisher towel for patent and hardware.
Oh,
So, yeah, I have my microfiber towel that I use on all sorts of things.
awesome.
What else? Microfiber towel. Let's see
Good to
here.
know, microfiber towel. We don't have one. Bill uses like a ratted old kitchen towel.
Hey, this thing is
He
clean
loves
plenty
it.
of
He
shoes.
loves it so much. It has a hole in it. He's like
gonna
very
clean
attached
shoes.
to this towel.
Use a gentle nail file for suede for matting.
Oh,
That'll
okay.
that'll work.
That makes sense because these brushes, by the way, are like You know the brushes that you use on grills? This is kind of what they are. They're like metal in here. So it would make sense that you could use a nail file. So yeah, that's a really cool tip, especially if you have a nail file and don't have a suede brush.
So Vaseline.
Wait, Vaseline on what?
Rehash vintage. On patent leather, use Vaseline to condition it and prevent from further cracking.
Oh,
So I
nice.
forgot about that one.
I wonder if Carmex would work instead of Vaseline. I use Carmex. So, you know, Lindsay, you mentioned Bill with his Windex and his Lysol. For me, I use Carmex on everything. If I get a cut, I put Carmex on it. If I have like a dry skin, I put Carmex on it. So I wonder if Carmex would work on patent leather. I bet it would.
I bet it would.
I mean, it's like a thick,
It's a Vaseline base, isn't it?
right? Kind of. It's creamy. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's gonna work. Don't trust me, but we'll have to try that out. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we're good. Are we caught up on the?
What do we got?
It's almost all the way off. It's way better within seconds, though.
Yeah.
Way better. See, it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot.
Nope.
Okay, so Frankie's Threads had a really interesting question about listing shoes. So Frankie's Threads says, is it better to list under kids or women's sneakers if they could go in either? So
I list whatever they are. So if they're kids, if their size as a child's sneaker, I'm gonna list them as a kid's size sneaker, for one reason. Somebody who knows that they can wear child sneakers are gonna look up for child sneakers.
Yeah, women are gonna go in the kids section if they know their feet are that size. Plus, they're probably gonna get them for a better price because they're not.
It's like I have big feet and I know I can wear men's sneakers, so I look under men's.
there you go. Exactly. And as women, we're much more likely to shop in other categories.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the likelihood is a lot greater. So yes, I totally agree with that. I think that if it's like a kid's 5, you're gonna list it as a kid's 5, because that's what I would wear. So that's what I would do. Okay, and then I know we talked about the Bolo brands. We're gonna come back to that, but Flipping Gals also had another really interesting question. And because I'm a numbers person, I'm really excited about this question. So what is the profit margin for shoes and the sell-through rate? Now,
Nope. That's somebody burnt that shoe.
well, it didn't come off. It's gonna dry, but it's no worse for the wear. So apparently it wasn't dirt. It looked like it was a ding in the fabric.
That's
So
a burn.
you know, yeah, it was a scratch. You know, I wear them I wear them all the time, so it doesn't surprise me. Okay, so let's talk about profit margins. Let's talk about money. Okay, let's talk about that. Profit margins for shoes. So for us, it's really fantastic. When we look at our data for 2019, now this doesn't apply to 2020 because, as Erin has mentioned, finding shoes here in Spokane is kind of few and far between. So
Needle and haystack.
if you can find them, though, I mean, like all the shoes that, well, the Keens and the Hunters were from my own closet, but like the Tory Burches you got, the Bionics you got.
I mean, I've found good brands before. I've found Rothy's. I've found not Teaks. I've never thrifted Teaks. But
See, I've found Teaks, but not Rothy's.
It's still on my list. Tory Burches. I've found lots of good brands. It's just there's not an abundance of them. There's not a lot of them.
Yes.
So.
And see, so when I'm outsourcing, I don't find a lot of those higher end brands. So that's why you'll see there's like this sneaker. Okay, it's a suede, like little slip-on sneaker. It's 9 West. It's nothing fancy. But I still think that this will sell for at least $20 after, offers to likers and what have you. Because it's a blush pink. But this is the kind of thing that I typically find. I did get these. Ooh, these need a little magic eraser. You can see those there. This is the unclean one. But these are Johnston & Murphy. So I did find these recently, and they're this gorgeous metallic quilted sneaker. I mean, so we do find some things here, but anyway, I just got on off on a tangent. But what I was saying is for 2019 in Seattle, we used to find shoes, for days at the bins, so our cost of goods was so low. And then our average sale price for shoes last year was $27. So you figure if you're only paying a few dollars for shoes and your average sale price is $27, that's a really great return on investment. So they don't take up, well, I'm totally lying. They take up a lot of space.
They do.
I'm totally lying. They take up so much space, and it depends on how you're going to store them. So you have to also keep that in mind. But for us, being able to get them at a low cost of goods and then the average sale price of $27, totally worth it on our end. And then the sell-through rate is actually pretty good. And I don't know the exact number. I didn't pull that up. I had it on my list, and of course I didn't get that data, but it is pretty quick. So most of the things we have in our closet are typically sell through in 90 days. Some of them don't, and then that's when I kind of go back and look at the shoes and say, was this a good buy? Was this a style that was in? Was I just obsessed with these because I would wear them? I don't know. So anyway, hopefully that answered a little bit of your question, but one thing I do want to say about this is when it comes to shoes, it's not just shoes that's going to make you money. It's the right shoes. You can't just go out and buy cheap shoes and list them and hope that you're gonna make money. So like, I don't sell a lot of, in fact, any stiletto heels. Anything that's a stiletto or a tall, skinny heel, unless, I will say I did sell a pair of Jeffrey Campbell's last year, but it was a unicorn heel. I mean, it was a little different.
Those were.
But that was a good flip. But you have to be mindful of what those brands are that are going to sell, and that, in the style. So not just the brands, but the styles as well.
Well, and those Ellens that I found at the bins, new tags sold pretty quickly within like 2 days.
Yeah, and those don't even retail for very much.
Little,
so
like, ballet flats.
So ballet flats do pretty well. What are you? What kind of styles do you typically find sell them the best for you?
I like to sell athletic shoes. So I've sold these before. These are just some Solomon trail running shoes.
Cool.
I like to find those. Bionics sell real well for me.
I've heard. I've never even seen Bionics. I had never heard of them until I keep seeing people on Insta that's like, oh, I found Bionics. I'm like, oh, maybe I should keep my eyes open.
You found Bionics for me before we moved, and those things sold within like 10 minutes.
Do you see? I just pick things up, and there we go.
Thanks, Kimberly.
I had no idea. So brands is another thing. So we talked kind of a little bit about styles and being mindful. You can really look to see what's in and staying up to date on, look in magazines. You don't even pick up a magazine. Go online. See what everyone's wearing. Posh has a style report, and you can also filter Posh to see what is selling.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tools out there, and also use your community. As always, use your community. So let's talk about brands. At the beginning of this live, we asked you to put some of your Bolo brands in the comments, and I think that this is a great opportunity maybe for you to learn new brands, for us to certainly learn new brands, and share with each other what your top Bolo brands are. So be on the lookout. That is what Bolo stands for. So I know some of you are kind of new to reselling. So you're gonna hear that term a lot, Bolo. This is a Bolo. Even if one person says it's a Bolo, just remember, it's not the brand necessarily that you're looking for.
It's
the style. You have to have both. You can't just buy a pair of Salvatore Ferragamos because it's a Ferragamo and expect it to sell if it's old and ugly. Bottom line.
And narrow.
And narrow. There are a lot of narrows.
They're all narrow.
Yes, 100%.
Leanne says Cole Haan.
Oh, Cole Haan.
Well, that's a good brand.
That is definitely quality. I really like Cole Haan. They're quality product. I have a pair in my closet right now that has so many likes. So it brings people to your closet for sure. Yeah, I like Cole Haan. Awesome. We already mentioned a few. Tory Burch. Cheeks. Rothy's. Fry. I still love Fry.
Yeah.
Depending on the right style. The clogs do not do anything, but boots always. 100%.
Trying to think of some others.
Jeffrey Campbell is one for me. I like Jeffrey Campbell.
Allbirds. I have a good look with
Allbirds.
Allbirds.
Yes.
The runners do better than the loafers.
Okay.
But they're both great. So
I remember last year I found a pair of birdies. Birdies are actually super cool. It was a loafer, like a quilted loafer style. Sold for, I know I underpriced it because last year I was like, fire sale, get everything out of my closet. But I know that they sold, I think, at least for 50 or maybe 40 to 50, and they sold within a couple of days. So birdies,
Dr. Scholl's
definitely does well. Doc Martens.
Oh,
Yes.
always
Yes.
Docs.
Love the Doc Martens.
Even the wrecked ones that I have to spend like an hour cleaning because they have mold all over them.
Because with the Doc Martens, hello, Wonder Balsam, the
Makes
little
them
tool, the little Scotty tool, and I mean,
A bunch of scrubbing with a big scrub brush.
yeah, so they do take a little bit of work for sure.
Danskos for
Oh,
sure.
Depending, I will say there's a caveat with Danskos. Don't just buy every pair,
No,
but the
they have to
unique
be
pairs,
yeah.
the unique
Mhm.
pairs,
like that splatter paint pair sold
Yeah.
within a day.
yeah,
45
Pattern-
bucks.
Prints and patterns.
Yes.
always,
Yeah.
always the prints and patterns.
Allegrias,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Allegrias, Bill.
especially around here, I see all the nurses wearing Allegrias.
Yeah, we live in a hospital.
One I
district.
forgot, Ginger Bear said, Sorels. Sorels
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
Sorrels.
Especially the wedge boots.
Of course, the Sorels.
Yeah.
How can I forget about the Sorels? Well, I think last year I had a pair that I think we sold for $20, $15.
Oh, the little kid ones.
Yeah, we because it was out of season and we were just moving, and so yeah, kind of sad.
What are you doing?
Any other brands coming through? What else is working for people?
See, there was some earlier comments I'm trying to go through here.
Vince Camuto.
No, okay, I actually find a lot of Vince Camuto here. I see quite a few
Yeah,
of
it's
those.
the right style, yeah.
But it's good to hear what's selling for other people and what you're looking for. So even those brands, those bread and butter brands,
Oh,
definitely.
Keens. I love me some
Oh,
Keens.
Keens. Birkenstocks. Well, okay, Birkenstocks
Well.
in season.
In season.
And yeah,
And they gotta
in
be good
season,
condition.
yeah, because that's one thing we picked up. We have a few pair in Bill's closet right now
Still.
that we're just gonna have to relist when it gets.
GTO Mama.
So yes.
Mucklucks.
Oh, really? You have
Yeah.
luck with Mucklucks. I guess I just never find
heels.
them.
Muckluck heels?
They make heels?
I know. I'm like Muckluck is moccasins, right? They make a heel. That would be interesting. Maybe a heeled moccasin.
I don't
That would be interesting. I'll have to look those up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
So
Chacos.
Oh,
Chacos.
Chacos,
Yeah.
yes,
Of course it does.
Chacos.
Yeah.
So keep putting those brands in there, but just kind of to give you a wrap up of everything we talked about today. So then that way, if you just joined us, you can go back and watch the video. But we did a quick run through of the products that we recommend that you can use to really help up your shoe game. We talked about getting rid of smells in shoes. We talked about cleaning the soles of shoes, whether it's rubber versus leather, what tools you would use.
Yep.
We talked about how to clean different outers, such as leather, patent leather, rubber, and suede. And we had a lot of great conversations around brands, as we're talking about now, and what is selling for everyone out there.
Merrells are good as well.
Mhm.
They're Lisette. Good job. $5.
Yep.
New pair. Yes.
Awesome, yeah. I mean, that's great cost of goods.
Yeah.
So any last tips? So to our lovely guest, Erin, I definitely want to make sure we give her a
Made
big
well,
thank
yeah.
you
Made well
to
love
Erin
for his
for
Piccolinos.
joining. Oh yeah,
Yes, thank you,
Piccolinos,
Erin.
yeah.
You're
So
welcome.
this was
I'll
so
come by
great.
anytime.
You will find down below, I'm going to link Erin's Poshmark closet, also her Instagram.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
an amazing,
Oh,
amazing
great.
PFF, and we are
Awesome.
so
I had
happy
fun, and
to
I
have
got
found
wine.
her. Yes, yes, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to shoes.
Cheers.
To shoes. But as always, we have left some time in here, so if you have any other questions regarding anything, you don't have to talk about shoes if you don't want to, but we're always here to answer questions as we wrap up the end of our lives. We love having
Absolutely.
you all here, and we're going to try to do more of these types of formats, maybe not having someone present in our home because that's a little bit challenging, but we definitely will be doing more guests as the year progresses. So let us know if you liked this format, if you liked
Thank you,
kind of
everyone.
demos and that kind of thing, because I think that this
Thanks
is something
all
I would like to be part
63
of.
you
So
for showing up on a Sunday night.
yeah, that's awesome! Yay!
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I always cut it off too soon, and then there's like a question right at the end. So I always try to like put on my
you
trainer
for the
hat and
info.
count to 10.
I
That's what
love
trainers do.
it.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, and
everybody.
like and subscribe. I forgot to even mention liking and subscribing, but we'd love for you to be part of the community. So
It would be great.
yes. Okay, awesome. Well, we are going to wrap it up for the evening. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So until next time, see ya.
Do, do, do,
Do, do, do, do, do, do, do, do.